we're working steadily onwards in terms of treaty settlements. Since the beginning of this year, we've passed legislation for Taranaki Maunga, Te Korowai o Wainuri Aurua, Ngāti Ngāhapu of Ngāti Ranganui, and we've also introduced legislation and had the first reading for Ngāti Haua, based in Taumaranui in central North Island, which is an important process. We've got lots of debates and discussions ongoing in that area, right across from, of course, from Ngapuhi and Hauraki, and we can talk about the progress there. New Zealanders have been very interested in the whole settlement process. Started in the mid-90s, and 30 years on, we're broadly about 2/3 of the way through, and still with some significant work to do, which we're obviously trying best to achieve. Look, I think that's probably enough to said by way of introduction, and very happy to answer any questions.
If resolving treaty settlements is a priority for your government, why was this budget cut by nearly 40 million?
Well, I'm not sure where the $40 million came from.
38, I think it is. It's 38.645 million compared to the previous financial year.
Yeah, well, in terms of the basic sort of budget for treaty settlements, there's been a slight reduction from about 38 million to about 36, I think is the fixed figure. And that I think was, as the member will be well known, was something that was put in place by her government and previous governments as we progress the treaty settlements. There was a goal to taper down over time. Now, of course, the reality is there's still a lot of work to do, but like every element of the government across and every estimates hearing that we've every estimates hearing that we've heard this week, this is a government that needs to be disciplined of its spending, because we continue to have a massive deficit and a big increase in debt. And so this department did have a small saving, but the basics of it retains. The big difference between the overall budgets for this entity and the past is that a significant amount of it's been moved to TPK as part of the separation.
How many times have you met with Ngapuhi, and what feedback have they provided on progressing a settlement?
I don't have the exact figure. I've met with them a number of occasions. The most memorable and positive occasion was when we met to initial a settlement for Kororipo Pā, and the return of that very important site to Ngapuhi. When a lot of New Zealanders will know where the stone store is in Kirikiri, and just over the river from that is the site of Kororipo Pā, which is very significant, where Hongi Hika was based, and others in the 1820s and 30s. So that was a very memorable and positive occasion. We've had a number of other interactions. The government is very keen to make progress on a broader Ngapuhi settlement. And the good news is that after many failed efforts over the past on all sides over government, there is, I think, a mood for a mood to make progress actually across. So with the primary focus is on getting the mandates delivered, and we're hoping to have at least a couple of them done before the end of the year.
Have they indicated that they are ready to negotiate?
Some are, some aren't. I mean, there's always a wide variety of views. Some people want to get on with the settlement, others will say never, never. So what we're hoping to get, of course, is the majority of people being prepared to settle.
And are you open to dealing with more than one group simultaneously?
Yes, look, broadly speaking, I mean, our preference would be to have, if we could arrange one commercial settlement across Ngapuhi, and then recognise a number of sort of cultural settlements underneath that. It might be 6, might be 7. We haven't got a hard view on that, but and so to have some natural groupings across the region. But if we could, our goal is, if possible, is to get a single commercial settlement.
Ngapuhi has taken quite a strong stance against some of the actions your government has taken, whether it's the Treaty Settlements Bill, walking out of the Iwi Chairs Forum, 7AA removal, the Māori Health Authority. Do you believe that some of the actions that your government has taken against Māori has impeded negotiations progress with Ngapuhi?
No, I wouldn't. I think ultimately there's there's always a variety of views. Governments have been trying to get a settlement with Ngapuhi for more than 20 years now, and so there are a number of issues that have delayed that. The Maori population, just like the Ngapuhi population, don't all think the same. There's a variety of views across Ngapuhi, and there are many that see huge opportunities to work with a government that's very keen to, has an instinct that empowers local communities to do things, frankly, in contrast to a sort of a more centralising impulse from the previous government. So there's lots of discussions being had around housing, lots of discussions being had around the delivery of public services at the local level. So while there are things that people disagree over, there's plenty that we do agree over, and plenty of scope for conversations to occur.
Last question on this. So just to be clear, you don't believe the actions your government has taken has detrimentally impacted on the Crown relationship with Ngapuhi?
No, I don't. I think we've got real good strengths to build on, and I think there is progress to be made.
Right, move to Steve. Steve Abel.
Kia ora. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Minister, you outlined, or at least Te Arawhiti now, Tari Whakatau, outlined an ambition of completing all settlements by 2035. Do you think that's realistic?
Well, ultimately, it's not something that can be forced by any government to state the obvious. A settlement requires two parties to settle. And so, look, I don't think I don't think the patience of New Zealanders as a whole is infinite, and people do want to see this process completed. But we're being as forward-leaning as we can to make progress. But I think it would be a massive problem for this country ultimately if we get to 2040 and we're still having these conversations. So we do want to make progress. That's why we're giving everything we can.